How you doing, brother?
Doing great, man. I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me on this, man.
Man, gratitude, bro. Gratitude.
Can you just describe, I guess, even in your own journey as a football player, where you were probably thinking more about your mental than it was your physical?
Well, during my career, I didn't even understand that the game was as mental as it was when I was playing it. You start to really recognize that later on in your career. But when I really fully retired and I was able to step out away from the game to see it for what it is, as opposed to what I wanted it to be, then I was able to really, really figure out that everything is mental. Everything it happens and it starts and it finishes in the invisible world, which is the spiritual world or the mental world. And so it's all there. And when football was taken away from me after 10 years as a pro, uh, the anxiety, the depression, it crept in. And I was just explaining to a friend of mine last night, actually, that you have to understand the power of your self value and your self worth. And if you don't do self inventory, you'll never get there, of course. But when you do, you'll put yourself in a position to really, really master everything you have to master to keep growing. Yeah.
No, I definitely hear that, and just like you were saying, how you played professionally for 10 years, and you played CFL, NFL, back and forth. Can you just describe that? Like, obviously, going, you were undrafted. How was that process? Because a lot of people, we hear all the time they glorify people that were drafted and they show all the videos. What was the experience like for you, knowing that your name wasn't going to be called?
Well, I didn't know my name wasn't going to be called, number one. I thought I was going to be drafted in the first 3 or 4 rounds because of my stats and because of my uh, ability. I was a 3-time All American. I broke the sack record at my college. I hold the NCAA record for tackles for loss in a single season and in a career. I still hold that to this day. I thought I was going, like I said, first 3 rounds. Nonetheless, um, what I thought was rejection was really my protection. You know, not just not getting drafted, just my whole journey. Being a journeyman taught me to be able to go into any environment and meet anyone, right? Going to coming from an all black environment in Pompano Beach and then going to an all white high school in Orlando in Altamont Springs, Florida, right outside of Orlando, uh, taught me a lot. Then going back to an HBCU, all of these things kind of helped me put my journey and my path, put me in a space to be able to do what I'm doing today. And so I'm very grateful for it. But the main thing that I could take away from the draft journey is that I remember how bad I felt after day 1 and 2 of the draft. And then I actually got a call from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to go in as a free agent, to go to their rookie free agent mini camp. But I went to the camp and I thought I had a pretty good camp, but they didn't sign me. I thought I was playing out of position. I was a pass rusher, but they had me playing middle linebacker. Nonetheless, and then I ended up signing my rookie deal, my first rookie deal as a real true free agent with the Detroit Lions. And so from that, if I count the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it was really 12 teams in 10 years that I actually put a helmet on. 6 NFL, 5 CFL, and 1 arena team. So yeah, it was nasty, bro. Because as good as I was, I knew I was getting drafted. I vividly remember how sick I felt not getting a call. Um, those days of the draft. Now, as a matter of fact, my family and I went to. I was in South Florida. I was back home in South Florida, and my family and we went to this Dave and Buster's because we were gonna celebrate together and everything. And Jonathan Vilma was there. I don't know if you remember him,
Oh
but
yeah.
him and I came out of high school the same year, and we both were on the all-state football team together. He gets drafted in the, I think, first or second round, whenever he got drafted. And I'm just like, bro, I know I'm just as good or better than this dude. Like, what? And, I mean, I went to a HBCU. I think that hurt me. And then there was 21 teams at my pro day, and I had tweaked my hamstring training for the combine and for my pro day. And my agent told me not to show up. And in that draft, the 2004 draft, I was the strongest linebacker in the draft that year. I did 35 reps at 225. And if I was healthy, I would have ran a 4.5, 4.6 easily. And I would have just gotten picked up. 21 teams at an HBCU is unheard of. Unheard of, bro. And they were there to see me, and I didn't show up. So that also kind of hurt me because it kind of like blacklisted me a little bit with those organizations. Just to give you a little bit of background on it.
No, that's definitely a big situation. And obviously, you were just talking about HBCUs and sometimes not getting the recognition that is deserved. What are your thoughts just on the current landscape now, where you're seeing more HBCU players getting drafted, and there's like now HBCU Legacy Bowls, a thing where there's more showcasing opportunities. What are your thoughts on that?
Ed, I love it. I'm glad that the young men are getting an opportunity to show what they can do and to really get the exposure that they deserve because, I had two of my teammates get drafted in the second round, and I know it had a lot to do with me coming off the edge. And one was Rasheem Mathis, and him and I are the only two three-time All-Americans in Bethune-Cookman history. And then Nick Collins, who won a Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers. These guys were my two DBs. And so I was the main guy coming off the edge so they could get the picks. And so I just knew I was going because the people saw the film just like I did, right? And but it was just a part of it. And like I said, I think that what you think is rejection sometimes is your protection. And the reason I say that is because all the things that I learned, all the things that I gained throughout that journey has helped me become the man that I am today and doing all the things that I do from helping out in the community, like this California Classic Health Flag and football camp that we're doing. It's an honor to be a part of something like this and to leverage it. I didn't make all the money that I wanted to make as a football player, and I didn't get a chance to show my ability the way I wanted to. But people who played with me on every level, whether it was NFL, CFL, arena, college, they know. You know what I mean? They know what it was, and sometimes that's all that really matters is that the people who played against you know what you can do, and so now we're making plays in another way by helping young people, and that's the most beautiful thing you can do. I have another NFL. It's called Newfound Life. So let's say that.
No, I like that. I like that. I definitely, obviously, your versatility. Not just from like playing in different leagues. You've got this blossoming acting career. How is it making that transition to because when you're a part of a football team, it's about the team. It's about, it's hard to be like an individual, stand out sometimes, to being an actor where they're seeing your face no matter what.
Yeah, I tell you what. I think the excuse you. Did you have more? Sorry.
Oh, no, no, that was it. That was it.
I think the football world we live in today, and even though I think the football world, when you get to the college and pro level, it's no longer about team. You want the team to win for sure, but you have to individually win or you're going home. That's just what it is. And people can be mad at me if they want, but the business of the sport has turned it into that. So I have to make sure that I'm taking care of me as the asset in the business that I am. Yeah, the team could win, but if you didn't do ish, you're getting cut. That's just what it is, right? So I don't put a lot of energy into the whole team thing when it comes to that. But what was the other part of your question?
Oh, I was
Oh,
saying transition into acting because the camera's on you and everybody's watching you whenever you're performing.
that is a difference. There's a difference between having a helmet on and making plays and being on TV and doing scenes of a film or of a TV series, and people are able to actually see who you are and feel you. And I had a lot of great fans as football, but I think the TV film fans are a little bit different because, like you said, not only can they can see you suit up for many, many different teams by being many, many different characters, right? And it's like, they can actually hate you and love you at the same time. So I mean, I think it's very similar. I call it from the field to the real. They have a lot of similarities, if you ask me. Because in football, you're only as good as your last play, and in TV film, you're only as good as your last scene sometimes, or your last audition. If I mean, I'm auditioning right now like crazy, and I'm so thankful because the strike was very tumultuous for a lot of us in the industry, and I'm just happy to be back in that groove. You know what I mean? Where you can at least cast a net. You know. And so, yeah, I'm very grateful for everything that's happening in this season.
Definitely. And I just want to ask, because like I said, you made that transition to acting. You've seen some football players try to do it as well. Is there any advice? I guess even for the younger players or guys that may not make it in football or want to go a different route in terms of making that jump, because it's a big jump to go into acting.
Yeah, and Ed, I didn't think that I would be an actor. This wasn't on my vision board. It was nowhere on my like. I thought if anything, I probably would have been like a sports analyst, commentator, or something like that. But I didn't think it would be at this magnitude. It's blowing me away, and so I think that sometimes people just want to jump into it because they think it's the thing to do. They think it's cool. I think that people should jump into and do anything that they're doing. They should do it and have a why behind why they're doing it. Like I think a lot of people just jump into it to things because they want to make money, they want the fame, they want the status, or they could actually want to act, and that's cool. But the why always is an important question that I ask a lot of folks that I converse with and coach and things of that nature because I think if you don't know your why before you die, yeah, that's sad. And so get your headshots, get some coaching, uh, get a put a good resume together. Um, there's no such thing as a small job. There's no such thing as a small speaking role. Like I got my opportunity as a background actor. I don't say extras anymore. I don't call people extras because I think it's greater than that. They still have to act too, even though they don't have dialogue. So like all of these things I've learned, and just like if you put the same energy that you put into playing football or any athlete for that matter, it'll work. And my manager, Goldie Bell Management, shout out to Goldie Bell. She represents all athletes who want to be actors or who are actors. So she's someone good to look up. Y'all look her up, Goldie Bell. That's another for all you former athletes out there that want to get in TV film.
Stevie, thank you so much for your time, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Have a great day.
You too.